wake up before my alarm. I always do. You're already up? My wife asks without looking away from her phone. Server alert, I say. Backup node didn't sync. She hums. Not concern. Not curiosity. Just sound. You'll handle it. I already did. She finally looks at me. Good. That's it. No question. No follow-up. I watch her slip into her blazer, the one with the company logo stitched inside the collar. You're speaking today, right? I ask. Yes, she says. Investor panel. Big one? They're all big. I nod. I'll review the metrics again. The Asia numbers still. They're fine, she cuts in. We agreed on the story. Story. Not data. I'll still be online, I say. In case something breaks. She smiles, distracted. Nothing breaks when you're around. It sounds like praise. Feels like assignment. At the office, the lobby screen plays her interview from last week. Vision, the host says. Leadership. Growth. I step into the elevator with two junior analysts. Did you see her speech? One whispers. She's incredible. She built everything, the other says. I stare at the floor number climbing. In the operations room, Mark swivels his chair. Morning. You see the latency spike. I fixed it at 4, I say. He blinks. Already? Yeah. You ever sleep? Sometimes. He laughs. She's lucky to have you. I don't answer. At 10, I sit in on the executive meeting. My wife stands at the head of the table. Our company is entering a new phase, she says. I want agility. Speed. Fresh ideas. I clear my throat. That'll strain the core system unless we'll manage, she says, not looking at me. Marketing? After the meeting, I catch up with her in the hallway. You dismissed the risk, I say. I didn't, she says. I deferred it. To when? She sighs. Why do you always do this after meetings? Because that's when decisions happen. You worry too much. Because I see things before they explode. She smiles tightly. That's why you're great at what you do. And what is that? She pauses. Support. At lunch, my phone buzzes. It's her again. Can you send me the growth slide? She asks. You have it. I want the updated version. I sent it last night. Oh, right. She hesitates. Can you resend? I do. At 5, she texts again. Running late. Dinner with partners. I reply. Okay, I'll stay online. At 9, she comes home glowing. They loved it, she says. They actually stood up. That's good, I say. You should have been there. You didn't ask. She shrugs. You hate those things. I don't hate them. I just don't get invited. She laughs. You don't need validation. I don't, I say. I need clarity. She stops walking. About what? About where I fit. She studies me like I asked something inconvenient. You're my husband, she says. And you're amazing at keeping things stable. Is that all? She frowns. Why are you turning this into something else? I'm not. I'm asking. She exhales. You know I couldn't do this without you. But you could talk about it like that. She checks her watch. I'm exhausted. Okay, I say. She heads toward the bedroom, then stops. Oh, she says casually. I hired someone today. I look up. Hired? Yes. For what? Operation strategy. That's my department. She waves her hand. It's an expansion role. You didn't mention it. I didn't think I had to. Who is it? She smiles too light. Someone important. Important how? She opens the door. You'll meet him soon. Him? She pauses. Don't make it weird. I'm not. Good, she says. Because this is good for the company. She closes the door. I sit alone in the living room, laptop open, alerts silent. For the first time in years, nothing is breaking. And somehow that feels worse. I meet him in the conference room. He stands when I enter, smiling like we already share something. You must be him, he says. I've heard a lot. Have you? I reply. My name's Adrian. I know. He laughs lightly. Straight to the point. I like that. My wife steps in behind me. You two finally met. Finally, Adrian says. I was starting to think you were avoiding me. I look at her. You didn't mention his name. She tilts her head. Would it have mattered? Yes, I say. She ignores that. Adrian will be helping us rethink operations. I already do that, I say. Adrian raises his hands. Hey, I'm not here to replace anyone. Then what are you here to do? I ask. He glances at her before answering. Optimize. She smiles at him. Not the public smile. The soft one. Let's sit, she says. We sit. Adrian pulls up slides. My slides. With different fonts. These systems are solid, he says. But they're conservative. They're stable, I say. Same thing, he replies. No, I say. They're not. She interjects. Adrian has experience scaling faster. Where? I ask. Overseas, he says. Startups. High-risk environments. And how many survived? I ask. He chuckles. Not all risk pays off. I look at her. That's my point. She sighs. You're being defensive. I'm being careful. Careful slows us down. Adrian leans forward. Look, I respect what you built. Truly. But companies evolve. So do boundaries, I say. He blinks. Excuse me? You're sitting in meetings you weren't invited to last week, I say. Accessing systems you don't fully understand. She stiffens. I gave him access. You didn't tell me. I don't need permission. I didn't say permission, I say. I said conversation. She crosses her arms. You're making this personal. Because it is. Silence. Adrian clears his throat. Maybe I should step out. No, she says quickly. Stay. That word lands wrong. She looks at me. We're married. You should trust me. I do, I say. I just don't trust surprises. Adrian smiles again. I promise I'm not a surprise. Just an old friend. The room feels smaller. Old how? I ask. She answers too fast. College. And? I say. And what? And how close? I say. She stares at me. That's not relevant. It is when he's inside our company. Our? She repeats slowly. You keep saying that. It is ours. She exhales. You've always struggled with sharing control. I laugh once. I never had control. That's not true. When have I ever made a public decision? I ask. When have I spoken on stage? That's not your strength. But it is his? I ask, nodding at Adrian. He shifts uncomfortably. I don't want to come between anything. Then don't, I say. She stands. Enough. This meeting is over. Adrian gathers his laptop. I'll send my recommendations. To me, she says. I stand too. Loop me in. She hesitates. We'll see. We walk out together. In the hallway, Adrian slows. Listen, he says quietly. I know this is awkward. Do you? I ask. He nods. But she believes in me. That's obvious. And she talks about you a lot, he adds. I stop. What does she say? That you're brilliant, he says. But rigid. I smile thinly. And what do you say about her? He meets my eyes. That she hasn't changed. At home that night she's distant. You embarrassed me, she says. I asked questions. In front of him. He works here. She shakes her head. You don't like him because of who he is. I don't like him because of what he represents. And what's that? She snaps. That you needed someone else to do what I've been doing quietly for years. She softens for a second. That's not fair. Neither is this. She looks away. You're overthinking. I've never been wrong when I felt this way. She turns toward the bedroom. I don't have the energy for this. Then when? I ask. She doesn't answer. I sit alone again, scrolling through system logs. Adrian's access level blinks on my screen. Higher than mine. I close the laptop. For the first time, I don't log back in. The first time it happens, I almost miss it. We'll move forward with Adrian's model, my wife says, tapping the table. Any objections? I open my mouth. Then I close it. The room is already nodding. After the meeting, Jenna from finance catches up to me. Did that timeline seem aggressive to you? She asks. It's unrealistic, I say. She lowers her voice. Then why didn't you say anything? Because it wouldn't matter. She studies my face. That's new. In the next meeting, my name isn't on the agenda. Adrian stands at the screen again. We'll phase out legacy safeguards. Those safeguards prevent outages, I say. He smiles. They also prevent growth. My wife nods. We can accept some risk. Risk for who? I ask. For all of us, she says. I lean forward. You're asking the system to do things it wasn't built for. And you're assuming it can't evolve, Adrian says. I built it, I reply. That's exactly the problem, he says. You're too close. The room goes quiet. My wife breaks it. Let's take this offline. No one looks at me. In the hallway, Mark approaches. They didn't even ask for your sign-off, he says. They don't need it anymore, I reply. That's insane. It's efficient. He frowns. That doesn't sound like you. It's not. At lunch, my wife texts, don't undermine Adrian in meetings. I reply, I didn't. I disagreed. Dots appear. Then stop. Then appear again. You're creating friction. I stare at the screen. So is ignoring reality. She doesn't respond. That afternoon, an alert flashes. Minor. Fixable. I wait. Adrian storms into my office. Why wasn't I notified? He demands. About what? I ask. The data lag. You're on the alert list. It came late. Because the buffer held, I say. Like it's supposed to. He exhales sharply. This wouldn't happen with my model. It would, I say. Just louder. He points at my monitor. You think you're the only one who understands this? I know I'm not, I say. But you don't yet. He laughs once. She trusts me. That's clear. She hired me to change things. Then own the consequences, I say. He steps closer. Careful. I look up. With what? With how you talk to me. I smile. I'm being professional. He leaves without another word. That night, my wife is on a call when I get home. Yes, she says sharply. No, that's not acceptable. Fix it. She hangs up and looks at me. Did you delay the alert? No. Then why did it escalate? Because someone bypassed safeguards. She narrows her eyes. You're blaming Adrian. I'm explaining cause and effect. She rubs her temples. Every issue lately traces back to you pushing back. I'm not pushing back, I say. I'm pointing forward. She laughs bitterly. You always think you see more than everyone else. I see patterns, I say. That's my job. Well, your job is changing. I pause. To what? She hesitates. Advisory. The word lands heavy. You're demoting me, I say. I'm repositioning you. Without telling me. I didn't think you'd react well. I nod slowly. You're right. She looks relieved. So you understand. I understand exactly. She reaches for my hand. I pull away. Don't, I say. Her face hardens. You're being dramatic. No, I say. I'm being accurate. She turns toward the bedroom. I can't do this tonight. Neither can I say. Later, Mark messages me. They removed your admin override. I stare at the screen. When I type. Today. I sit back, heart steady, mind racing. I open the system dashboard. Read-only access. I close it. For years, I stopped disasters before they happened. Tonight, I do nothing. And somewhere deep inside, something clicks into place. I know something is wrong before she says anything. She drops her keys on the counter and doesn't look at me. You're home early, I say. Meeting ended, she replies. With Adrian? Yes. I nod. How did it go? Productive. That's it. She finally looks up. What do you want me to say? The truth, I say. She exhales. You're tense. I've been calm for weeks. She laughs softly. That's not how it feels. I step closer. You removed my access. It was temporary. You didn't tell me. I didn't want to fight. So you chose silence. She sets her bag down harder than needed. Why do you always assume the worst? Because the worst keeps happening. She folds her arms. You're not the only one under pressure. I know, I say. I just thought we were on the same side. We are. Then why do I feel like an outsider? She looks away. You're reading too much into this. My phone vibrates. A message lights up the screen. Adrian, can we talk? She notices. Why is he texting you? She asks. He shouldn't be, I say. I didn't give him my number. She stiffens. He asked me for it. And you gave it to him. It's professional. So was my access, I say. She rubs her face. You're exhausting. The word hits harder than I expect. I'm trying to understand, I say. You're trying to control. I'm trying to protect what we built. She shakes her head. You didn't build this alone. I never said I did. But you act like it, she snaps. Silence stretches. Did you know, I ask slowly, that he bypassed the safeguards? She doesn't answer. Did you? I ask again. She sighs. He said it was necessary. And you believed him. I trust his judgment. More than mine. I ask. Her eyes flash. Don't make this a competition. I didn't, I say. You did. She turns away. I can't do this conversation tonight. I watch her walk toward the bedroom. Wait, I say. She stops but doesn't turn. Is there something else? I ask. What? Something you haven't told me. She's quiet too long. I'm tired, she says finally. That's not an answer. She turns, anger sharp now. What do you want from me? Honesty, I say. Even if it hurts. She studies me like she's deciding something. He stayed late last night, she says. My chest tightens. At the office? Yes. Alone? Yes. For work. She hesitates. Mostly. Did you come home late because of him? I ask. She closes her eyes. Nothing happened. That's not what I asked. She opens them again. You don't trust me. I'm trying to, I say. But you keep giving me reasons not to. She laughs brittle. You're jealous. I'm hurt. You're threatened, she says. By someone who isn't afraid to lead. The words burn. I led quietly, I say. So you could shine. She scoffs. That was your choice. Yes, I say. It was. She walks past me. I'm going to sleep. I stand alone in the kitchen, lights too bright. Adrian texts again. I didn't mean to cause problems. I type then erase. You already did. I don't send it. I follow her into the bedroom. She's already under the covers, facing away. Are you sleeping? I ask. Yes. I sit on the edge of the bed. I need to say something. She doesn't respond. I won't fight anymore, I say quietly. She shifts. Good. Not because I don't care, I continue, but because I'm tired of explaining my value. She turns her head slightly. This again. I'm done proving myself, I say. At work. At home. She sits up now. What does that mean? It means I'll stop interfering, I say. You and Adrian can run things how you want. Her eyes narrow. You're threatening me. No, I say. I'm letting go. That's irresponsible. So is cutting me out, I reply. She stares at me, searching my face. You won't actually step back, she says. You care too much. I nod. I used to. She looks uneasy for the first time. Don't be dramatic. I'm being honest, I say. I stand. I'll sleep in the guest room, I add. She doesn't stop me. Lying alone in the dark, my phone buzzes once more. Adrian, she's under a lot of stress. Please be patient with her. I stare at the message. Then I turn the phone face down. That night, I don't plan revenge. I don't plot. I make a decision. I stop saving people who don't want to be saved. I don't resign. That's what surprises everyone later. Monday morning, I walk into the office like nothing has changed. Morning, Mark says. Everything okay? Fine, I reply. You look lighter. Do I? He studies me. Like you slept. I did. At 10, the alert panel flashes yellow. Normally, I'd already be fixing it. Instead, I sip my coffee. Jenna leans over the divider. Are you seeing this? Yes. Aren't you going to? Adrian's overseeing operations, I say. He'll handle it. Her eyebrows lift. Since when? Since I was repositioned. She hesitates. Do you agree with that? I accepted it. The alert turns orange. Adrian bursts into the room. Why wasn't this escalated? It was, I say. To you. He stares. This affects core systems. Then you should act. You know how. I shrug. You said I was too close. My wife arrives mid-argument. What's happening? She asks. Latency breach, Adrian says. He didn't intervene. She looks at me. Why not? You asked me to step back, I say. I'm respecting that. Her jaw tightens. This isn't the time for games. It's not a game, I reply. It's the structure you chose. She turns to Adrian. Fix it. I need his override, Adrian says. She looks at me again. Do it. I shake my head. I don't have access. Silence. You removed it, I add. She swallows. Then restore it. That's your decision, I say. Not mine. The system stabilizes 20 minutes later. Clients complain. Nothing collapses. Yet. At lunch, Mark corners me. You could have stopped that in seconds, he says. I know. Why didn't you? Because that's not my role anymore. That's insane. No, I say. It's honest. That afternoon, Adrian schedules a meeting. I need clarity, he says. Are you helping or not? I'm available when asked, I reply. That's evasive. It's precise. My wife rubs her temples. Just cooperate. I am, I say. Within my scope. She glares. You're punishing us. I'm letting consequences happen. She slams her notebook shut. This isn't about the company anymore. It's personal. It became personal when you stopped trusting me. She opens her mouth, then closes it. That night at home, she's tense. You embarrassed me today, she says. I didn't raise my voice. You withheld help. I followed instructions. She laughs sharply. You're twisting this. I'm simplifying it, I say. She steps closer. You're doing this to prove a point. No, I reply. I'm doing it to survive. She stares. Survive what? Being invisible, I say. Her expression softens just a little. You know that's not true. I used to, I say. Her phone rings. She answers immediately. Yes, Adrian, she says. No, I'll handle it. She lowers her voice and walks away. I watch her back. Later I check the system logs. 3 safeguards disabled. 1 approval. Hers. I close the screen. The next day a client calls me directly. Is everything okay over there? He asks. Things feel unstable. They are, I say. Should we be worried? That depends on who's driving, I answer. At the office, whispers start. Why isn't he fixing things? Did he quit? Is he being pushed out? I don't correct them. In the executive meeting, my wife avoids my eyes. Adrian talks faster now. Sweats more. We'll resolve these minor issues, he says. Minor. Afterward, the board member stops me. You're quiet, he says. I'm listening. He nods slowly. Good. That evening, my wife corners me at home. You're enjoying this, she accuses. No, I say. I'm enduring it. You're letting the company suffer. I'm letting it show cracks, I reply. There's a difference. She shakes her head. You're cruel. I meet her eyes. I'm absent. That's worse, she says. I don't argue. I go to the guest room again. Lying there, phone buzzing with alerts I no longer own, I feel something unexpected. Relief. For the first time, their problems are not automatically mine. And the company keeps moving. Just not smoothly. The problems stop being quiet. By Wednesday, the board wants answers. My wife calls me before the meeting. Be ready, she says. They're asking questions. I always am, I reply. Don't do this, she warns. Do what? Sit there and say nothing. I speak when I'm asked. She exhales sharply. That won't be enough. It used to be. In the boardroom, the air is tight. Adrian is already sweating. We're experiencing temporary strain, he says. Nothing structural. A board member looks at me. Do you agree? I pause. I agree it's no longer temporary. My wife shoots me a look. What does that mean? Another board member asks. It means the safeguards were removed, I say. And the system is doing exactly what it was warned not to do. Adrian jumps in. We're optimizing. You're gambling, I reply. The older board member leans back. Who approved the changes? Silence. My wife speaks. I did. The room stills. And on whose recommendation? He asks. She hesitates. Adrian's. The older man nods. And where was our original architect? All eyes turn to me. I was repositioned, I say calmly. Adrian interjects. He chose to step back. No, I correct. I was removed from authority. My wife slams her hand on the table. That's not fair. It's factual, I say. The meeting ends without resolution. Outside, Adrian corners me. You blindsided me, he says. You asked me to be honest. Not like that. I shrug. Truth doesn't negotiate tone. My wife pulls me aside. You humiliated me, she hisses. I answered questions, I reply. You could have softened it. I spent years softening things, I say. Look where that got us. She looks shaken. They're questioning my leadership. They should, I say quietly. Her eyes widen. How dare you? How dare I tell the truth? I ask. She turns away. That afternoon, the CFO approaches me. They want a risk report, she says. From you. Do they? I ask. Yes, she replies. Privately. I deliver facts. No drama. No emotion. Numbers speak better than I ever did. That night, my wife is waiting when I get home. Why didn't you warn me this would happen? She demands. I did, I say. Not like this. You didn't listen. She sinks onto the couch. They're considering oversight. I sit across from her. That's reasonable. She laughs weakly. You sound detached. I am, I admit. She looks up. When did you stop caring? When caring stopped mattering, I reply. Her phone buzzes. She reads it and pales. What? I ask. Adrian missed a deadline, she says. A big one. I nod. He's overwhelmed. He said he had it under control. So did you, she snaps. I don't respond. The next day, an emergency meeting is called. Adrian fumbles through explanations. I need more time, he says. You had more freedom than anyone, the older board member replies. My wife looks at me. Can you fix this? She asks softly. The room freezes. I can help stabilize, I say. But not alone. What do you need? She asks. Authority, I say. And honesty. Adrian stiffens. This is a takeover. No, I say. It's a rescue. The board member nods. Temporary authority granted. My wife swallows. Effective immediately. Adrian's face drains. After the meeting, he confronts me. You planned this, he says. I step back, I reply. You stepped forward. That's not fair. Neither is incompetence, I say. He lowers his voice. She'll never forgive you. I meet his eyes. I didn't do this to be forgiven. At home, my wife stands in the kitchen, quiet. You could have warned me harder, she says. I warned you enough, I reply. She looks at the floor. I trusted the wrong person. Yes, I say. She flinches. I meant him. I know, I say. That's the problem. She steps closer. Are you going to leave? I haven't decided, I reply. She nods slowly. He ruined everything. I shake my head. No. He revealed it. Her eyes fill. I need you. I look at her for a long moment. You needed me before, I say. Now you want me. Silence stretches. Outside, my phone buzzes with system alerts. This time they're addressed to me again. I don't feel victory. I feel clarity. She waits in my office after hours. Not the CEO office. What? You didn't come home, she says. I was stabilizing the rollback, I reply. She nods like she understands, but her eyes don't. They're asking for my resignation, she says. I pause. As CEO? As acting CEO, she corrects. They want a transition. That's reasonable. She flinches. You don't even hesitate. I've hesitated for years, I say. This isn't new to me. She steps closer. I built this company. You led it, I reply. I built its spine. Her voice cracks. Why does it feel like you're punishing me? I'm not, I say. I stopped cushioning you. She shakes her head. You could have protected me. I did, I say. Until you asked me not to. She sits in the chair across from me. Adrian's gone, she says quietly. Resigned? I ask. Removed, she replies. Effective immediately. I nod. That was inevitable. She looks up sharply. You knew. I knew the gaps, I say. He exposed them faster. She laughs once hollow. He told me you manipulated the board. I lean back. Did you believe him? She doesn't answer. That's your answer, I say. She grips the arms of the chair. I didn't mean to shut you out. But you did. I thought I needed someone louder, she admits. Someone who fit the image. And I didn't, I say. She swallows. You never asked for the spotlight. I didn't need it, I reply. I needed trust. Her eyes fill. I trusted him because he reminded me of who I used to be. And I reminded you of responsibility, I say. She nods slowly. Yes. Silence sits between us. They're asking me to step down tomorrow, she says. Publicly. That's hard, I say. She laughs bitterly. You say that like a consultant. I'm trying not to say it like a husband, I reply. She stands suddenly. Say it like my husband then. I hesitate. I'm disappointed. Her breath catches. Not because you failed, I continue, but because you didn't listen when I was standing right beside you. She wipes her eyes. I was afraid. Of what? I ask. Of becoming irrelevant, she says. Of being overshadowed. I nod. So you chose someone who would never challenge you. She winces. You always did. Because I cared, I say. She steps closer. Do you still? I don't answer immediately. I care about the truth, I say finally. And about myself. Her shoulders slump. I don't recognize you anymore. I finally recognize myself, I reply. Her phone buzzes. She ignores it. They want you to take over, she says. Temporarily, I correct. They want you permanently. I raise an eyebrow. And you? She hesitates. I don't know who I am without this role. I study her face. That's something you need to find out. She reaches for my hand. I don't pull away. I don't hold on. Can we fix this? She asks. Define this, I say. Us, she whispers. I breathe out slowly. I don't know. Her face crumples. You don't love me anymore. That's not true, I say. But love without respect rots. She nods through tears. I see it now. I wish you had before, I reply. She straightens. If I step down, if I let you lead, will you stay? The question hangs heavy. I won't stay out of guilt, I say. Or convenience. Then why would you stay, she asks. If you learn to stand without leaning on me, I answer. She looks lost. Tomorrow, she says, I'll announce my resignation. I'll support the transition, I say. As what? She asks. As the person who keeps the company alive, I reply. She nods. And after that? I stand. After that, we'll see who we are without titles. She watches me walk to the door. Thank you, she says quietly. For what? I ask. For not destroying me, she replies. I pause. I didn't want destruction. I leave. That night, I sit alone again, city lights blinking below. For the first time, she looked at me without power in her eyes. And for the first time, I wasn't sure I wanted her to look at me at all. The press conference is shorter than expected. My wife stands at the podium, hands steady, voice calm. I'm stepping down as CEO, she says. Effective immediately. No excuses. No blame. I watch from the back of the room. A reporter asks, who will replace you? She pauses. The company will be led by the person who's been holding it together all along. Some heads turn. I don't step forward. Afterward, the board meets in private. We'd like you to take the role, the older member says. Interim, I reply. Permanent, he corrects. I shake my head. Not yet. They exchange looks. I'll stabilize, I say. I'll rebuild trust. But I won't inherit damage pretending it's legacy. The CFO nods slowly. That's fair. When I get home, she's already there. She didn't change out of her suit. It's done, she says. I know. She watches me carefully. They offered you everything. They offered responsibility, I say. Not everything. She sits across from me at the table. I cleared my office, she says. Adrian's things too. Good, I reply. I didn't keep anything, she adds. No pictures. No favors. I look at her. That's not what this is about. She nods. I know. I just wanted you to know. Silence stretches. So, she says, what happens now? The company will recover, I say. It always does. And us. I lean back. That depends. She swallows. On what? On whether you want to rebuild a marriage, I say, or just mourn a title. Her eyes shine. I don't know who I am without it. That's honest, I say. She smiles faintly. You always valued honesty. I valued partnership, I reply. She winces. I failed at that. Yes, I say. You did. She nods, accepting it. Are you leaving? She asks. I'm not running, I say. But I'm not staying the same. She looks down. I don't deserve you. That's not the point, I reply. This isn't about deserving. She looks up. Then what is it about? Choice, I say. Mutual choice. She exhales. I chose wrong before. I know. She reaches across the table, then stops herself. I won't ask you to stay, she says. I won't pressure you. I nod. That's a start. That night, I sleep in the guest room again. Not because I'm angry. Because space tells the truth faster than words. The next morning, I'm back at the office early. Mark smiles when he sees me. Feels different, he says. It is, I reply. Better? Clearer. Systems stabilize. Clients return. The noise fades. No applause. Just function. At lunch, my phone buzzes. Are you coming home tonight? I stare at the message. Me, yes. Pause. Her. Thank you. When I get home, she's cooking. Awkward. Careful. I made your favorite, she says. I noticed, I reply. We eat quietly. Finally, she speaks. I'm starting therapy. I look up. For you? For me, she says. I don't want to need power to feel real. I nod. That matters. She hesitates. Do you still believe in us? I think before answering. I believe in who we could be, I say. Not who we were. She accepts that. Later, standing by the window, she says, You never tried to ruin me. I never wanted revenge, I reply. I wanted truth. She nods. And you got it? Yes, I say. At a cost. She looks at me. And was it worth it? I meet her eyes. I found myself again. She smiles sadly. I hope I can too. I don't promise anything. I don't need to. Because for the first time, the company runs without her. And for the first time, so do I.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.